Jasmine Julmiste, and welcome to The Second Layer, the show where we dig a little deeper to truly understand the people around us. Today I'm here with former mayor and Commissioner Commissioner from the District 7, Mack Bernard. Thank you for being here, Mack.
Thanks for having me, appreciate it.
For those of us who are not really informed about politics, can you tell us what your role is, what it entails, and basically what your overall objectives are?
Well, first of all, I am a county commissioner for District 7.
Correct.
And that's in Palm Beach County. And in Palm Beach County, we have 7 districts.
Okay.
And we have over 1.5 million residents that live in Palm Beach County.
It's a lot of people.
Yes, a lot of people. And I had the pleasure of serving as the former mayor. And now I'm serving as a county commissioner. And our jobs are to basically take care of the health, safety, and the welfare of our residents in the county.
Nice. So what does that mean for your day-to-day? What does your day-to-day functions look like?
For my day-to-day function, well, first of all, like I have kids.
Yeah.
So, take care of the kids.
Dad first, yep.
And then just pretty much go to work, have meetings to address the needs of the residents of the county.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit different right now because with this pandemic, what we used to do is not the same because the work that we were doing in terms of the basic needs of our residents completely changed with this coronavirus.
How so? What have you guys been addressing?
Well, just think about it. Like, we're dealing with a health crisis in Florida.
Yeah.
And I believe as of today, over 414,000 residents in this state tested positive for COVID-19.
Yeah.
And we've got over 24,000 residents that are in hospitals right now, and close to 5,500 deaths, fatalities in the state of Florida. And so, and we've got this virus that is rampage in the state of Florida. So we're doing everything in our power to address the health crisis because we have to make sure we protect our residents.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit here. Tell us what inspired you to be a lawyer first, and then what inspired you to go into public office, the boxing ring of public office.
It's not really a boxing ring, but, first of all, you've got to understand, first of all, I was born in Haiti, and so I moved to the United States in 1986, so that I was 10 years old. And my sister and I, we came to the United States together. Yeah. And I was 10 and she was 12. And we had the opportunity to come to the United States. And so went to elementary school, middle school, and high school in Palm Beach County. And so when I had the chance to go to college, I went to Florida State University.
Nice.
And I knew I wanted to be in politics. And so I was in Tallahassee, so I remember seeing the legislators. I used to go downtown watching them.
Nice.
And I ended up being a city commissioner in Delray.
Okay.
And then I served in Tallahassee as a state representative.
Nice.
And now I get the chance to serve as a county commissioner. But I wanted to be an attorney, so I've been an attorney since 2002, so 18 years as an attorney, and I'm a tax attorney in Palm Beach County.
Awesome. What sparks your love of helping people and serving people?
Well, it all stems from the fact that, just coming to the United States and knowing that a lot of people had to help me I had to learn English.
Yeah.
I had to pretty much go through the system of assimilating in the United States.
Yep.
And so when I graduated, I was in ROTC, and I was like, I want to get back. I want to help the people that's helped me. A lot of the teachers helped me. And I've been, ever since I graduated high school, I've been helping ever since.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. Along your journey, what have been some of your more difficult challenges that you faced?
Well, the most difficult challenge that I believe that I faced, well, I've had so many of them because of the fact that, when I was born in Haiti, both my parents left.
Okay.
And so I never had the chance to meet my parents. And so, as an orphan kid to come to the United States and with just your sister, and so we had to adapt. And also, even after we have a lot of dreamers in this country who didn't get a chance to, they don't have the right paperwork, and that was hard because my sister and I, we had to become legalized in this country, and so going through that, and then just going through coming to the United States, a new country as two kids, and just knowing that, we had to fend for ourselves and to try to make it. And so, but, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and so we've been blessed, and so that's the reason why we're just always happy to help.
Yeah. How do you think that fight, in order for you guys to like persevere and really succeed in this country, how do you think that has shaped how you do your work now?
I think it's because it's who you are. It's who I am, and so I work really, really hard because like I just know that, if you don't work hard, that's all that I've known how to do. Which is I've had to fight to come to the United States, fight to make it, and fight to go to school, and fight to go to law school, and then, and even through politics, I was a city commissioner, state rep, and then in 2012, I ran for state senate, and I lost by 17 votes.
What?
And, 17 votes. So I had to. So 4 years later, I was like, I got to come back and become a county commissioner and fight for the people that I want to represent. So there are obstacles, and so you just have to learn how to overcome those obstacles. Yeah,
and I would argue that if you have to fight through different obstacles, it helps your character and you're stronger because of them.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So, okay, you told us a little bit about your childhood. How do you think your cultural background, being Haitian American, influences your work?
Well, I remember coming to the United States in '86, and, back then, a lot of people had made, derogatory comments about Haitians. And, we've always had to adjust into a new country. And, we have so many of our residents who live in Palm Beach County, in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. We've had to adjust. But we continue to persevere as a community, and that's the way that I've always been. When it's Sunday, silence.
Yes, that's right.
And that's the way that I am, and so I want to persevere and work hard and represent my community, but also represent Haiti, represent the country that I was born in.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That loyalty. To that point, though, what's your favorite Haitian food?
My favorite Haitian food.
Yes, if I could create a dish for you right now and then put it right here and say bon appétit, what would you want to eat?
That would be some ziri blanc, some sauce poisson.
Yep.
And some legumes.
And some legumes, yes. Oh man, my mother makes a mean legume, so.
I love some sauce poisson.
Yes, I concur with that. Okay, list for me 2 of the most memorable moments of your career thus far.
Thus far. As a county commissioner, one of the things that we were able to pass in Palm Beach County for 17 years, we didn't have something that's called an MBE program, which is a minority business enterprise.
Okay.
And so we've been doing for 17 years in Palm Beach County before I came on board. Most of the businesses that we're giving businesses to were basically white men. And so when I came on board, and I was like, we need to make sure that we give more minorities, women, and Hispanics the opportunity in Palm Beach County. And so I fought we had to adopt something called a disparity study. And after we adopted that, 17 years later, we're able to have an MBE, MWE program in the county. So that way, minorities, women, black-owned businesses can have contracts in Palm Beach County.
Wonderful.
And people fought me, and because they didn't want to have that. But I believe that this is something that's important.
Absolutely.
I have 3 girls. And I want to make sure that, as they go to school and other kids go to school, for them to go to college and then to have opportunities in Palm Beach County.
Absolutely.
And so that's one of the most important things that I've done. But right now, dealing with this pandemic, we have a lot of our residents that are Haitian, that are Jamaican, that are Caribbean, that's been impacted by COVID-19. So right now, I am working diligently every day to make sure that we're providing the needs for our residents. Health care, because a lot of our communities, people don't have health care, so we want people to get tested. We want people to practice social distancing. And then we have a lot of people who've lost their jobs. And our unemployment rate in Palm Beach County right now is over 14%. In May of last year, it was 3%. So a lot of our residents have lost their jobs. And so we're doing everything in our power to work with our residents so in that way we can help them to make it through, because we're facing the worst crisis, a recession, health crisis. And then if you think about it, now we've got an unemployment crisis, and eventually we've got a moratorium on evictions. But that's going to expire, and we're going to have a lot of residents, not just in Palm Beach County, but throughout the state of Florida, the United States. They're predicting over 28 million foreclosures. So these are the things that we're fighting hard for our residents right now.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to know that there is a task force or what may have you in place that is specifically working on that. Now, to get just a little bit more granular, what are some of the systems and the practices that you guys have put in place to address these issues?
Well, first of all, what we did was we received over $261 million from the CARES grant that was passed by Congress. And so what we did was we allocated $60 million for our small businesses, where we're giving grants up to $25,000 for our small businesses.
Wonderful.
Another $20 million that we allocated for mortgage assistance for the people who sometimes cannot pay their mortgages, and so we've allocated to give them up to $10,000, and that they can go on our website www.pbcgov.org, and then they can apply for mortgage assistance.
Nice.
And also we've also allocated $20 million for also rent assistance and utility assistance. So, and they can go to www.pbc.gov, and then so in that way they can, our residents can apply for mortgage assistance, utility assistance, and rent assistance. So these are some of the things that we're doing, and we've provided business grants to some of the small businesses, so in that way we can help them as we navigate through this crisis.
That's good, and it gives people a little bit more breathing room, so that instead of focusing and worrying about how will they pay their bills and simply how will they sustain, they can focus on their health and making sure that they maintain it. So I'm sorry, I did say that we weren't going to go political or into your day-to-day work.
This is something that we're dealing with right now.
It's true.
It's on the minds of all of our residents. If you just specifically in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County, throughout the state of Florida, residents are worried about how we're fighting this pandemic.
Absolutely.
And then the next thing that we also have to deal with, a lot of our kids, a discussion on back to school. And so a lot of our parents are concerned. Like in the county, the school board made the decision to open school 2 weeks later, which is going to be August 31st. And so what we're hoping is that we're able to work with the school district. As a county, my job, I can help and provide testing sites, so in that way we can help our teachers, our students, so in that way we can protect our students.
And be more informed and smart as we move forward. That's important, because the bottom line is that we have to trust the numbers that we see to see if it's even feasible, so I understand that. So speaking of what your response has been, I believe that the meeting occurred on June 23rd, where you were a part of a commissioner-based meeting. You and your colleagues passed a unanimous vote for masks to be mandated in Palm Beach County. You were met with some backlash and some very interesting responses, and I think what's really unique about it is that not only have the responses gone viral via social media, there has been nationwide coverage. I can speak for myself when I saw the coverage of the meeting on a local news station, and I said, oh wow, that was that. And then after that evening, I saw it on a cable news network, and I said, wow, this is really getting a lot of attention. The following morning, I saw it on The View, another national show. So if I could take you back to that time and share as much as you please, what was going through your mind at that meeting when you were hearing those responses?
Well, at the meetings, I'm the one who call everybody's name to come to the microphone. So, which is, I call everybody, so I kind of know some of the people what they were going to say. The biggest thing for me was to make sure that everybody was heard.
Yes.
And also we wanted to expose the people for who they are.
Yeah.
And so, hey, they were able to say their 3 minutes or 2 minutes, whatever they had,
Yep.
and so that way they can expose for their point of view.
Yeah.
But I know for me as a county commissioner, like I don't really care what your party,
Yeah.
because of the fact that all I care about is to take care of the health safety of our residents. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And so I will do whatever I can to protect the residents.
That's right.
And so it didn't bother me that they were going to, do what they were going to do, but I knew that I was going to vote and support the mask. And so
Yeah.
I already had, before the vote, I already had stated that I was going to support it,
Yep.
because I believe that that was important for our residents. And you've seen the numbers throughout the whole state of Florida.
Correct.
And we have to protect our residents.
Yeah, we have to put something in place. It's just, when I thought about that, I had the thought that, wow, that was truly a historical moment. Each of us in our own rights, we are making our own history. But with this in particular, when people look back at the pandemic 5 or 10 years from now and they say, or even further generations, and they say, well, how did people react to this? What were their responses? This is something, that meeting is something that's going to be a staple part of history. So
It is, but just think about it. Right now, we're learning about the bird flu,
Yeah.
1919 flu. So we're learning something that happened 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And so down the road, our residents or throughout the United States, how we reacted to this virus, our leadership
Yep.
will really, even right now, just to get us through this. And so that's why I'm working every day
Yeah.
on protecting our residents.
yeah, what has your working every day? What has your work look like in terms of, are you able to work from home? How often do you have to go into the field? Because like most Americans, either they've lost their jobs or they're working from home. So what does work really look like for you during this time?
My work is basically, I'm in my office pretty
Okay.
much on a daily basis.
Okay.
We have an emergency operations center. I'm there pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Because I'm concerned about, the healthcare. And then also remember, now we're in hurricane season.
Yeah.
And so we're monitoring hurricanes. And so everything that you can think of, this is the perfect
It's
storm.
happening, yep.
But so that's the reason why it's on a daily basis. But even though we have hurricanes, but because this pandemic it's impacting our residents so much.
Yeah, right now.
This is all that we have to do is to help our residents get through this.
Yeah, so I guess we can argue that you are an essential worker.
I am.
And
I didn't know that I was. Even like your job is an essential worker because
Yeah.
you're providing information to the public because the public needs that information to make decisions for their lives. So you're also an essential
Yeah,
worker.
thank you. I'll take that.
I'm not gonna give you a raise.
Someone's listening, hopefully. So I guess we'll end with this. What encouragement would you give to any young American or any young Haitian American, actually any Haitian American at all, on how to fulfill their purpose in the same way that you were fulfilling your purpose?
Well, just think about it. To some of the young kids who are coming up, I never knew that, 34 years later after coming to the United States, that I would become the mayor of the county,
Wow.
representing over 1.5 million residents.
Wow.
I never thought that the young kid who parents left at 3-month-old, never met their parents, to come to the United States at 10, to get the opportunity to go to elementary school, middle school, and high school
Yes.
here. And then I decided I wanted to go to college, went to Florida State University, and I wanted to be an attorney. And I was like, I went to University of Florida for law school, and I decided I wanted to be a tax attorney, so I stayed an extra year to get a master's in tax law. And then I had the audacity to want to be a city commissioner,
Yes.
state rep. Now I'm county commissioner. So what it means is that, everything is possible.
That's right.
But you do have to have a little bit of grace, and and God's got to bless you.
Yes.
And you do need that blessing. And
Yeah.
so I'm just really thankful that God's really blessed me. He's been great to me.
Yes.
And so that's why, I hope the young kids who are watching, they get to, change the world. I'm getting old now, so I'm not as young anymore.
Yeah.
But I want these kids who are growing up, as we're dealing with social justice, you know, all these things that we're dealing with. I'm hoping that the young kids are the next generation that's going to change the United States for the better.
Yeah, I love that you said that you had the audacity to, because you're right. With the blessings that you were given also came the power and the authority to do these things. And so if we could just reflect on the fact that all of us are given that power and authority to have that same audacity to chase the desires of our heart, then this would be like such a better country and world, I would say. And so I guess I'll end on this, because you just brought up social justice. I'm not sure if you followed the work of the late Congressman John Lewis, but if you did, how do you plan on continuing his legacy and your work?
Well, just think about it. In the 1960s, you know, we had the death of Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King. And, you know, Mr. John Lewis was part of that, you know, nonviolent movement. And, you know, the young boy from Troy, you know, he changed America. And so, and what I'm hoping is that, you know, the next generation will continue that work and that legacy for us to change the world, because, you know, we've got to make sure that, you know, people just judge us based on our character and not just based on the color of our skin. And and that's what we want everybody to judge us on. But we're a long way from that. And, you know, because of the leadership that's going on right now in the country, you know, we're having these discussions, and what we're hoping is that we're able to change for the better. Yeah, for the better. Good trouble. Good trouble. Good trouble. Some good trouble. Yes, I love it. This is Commissioner Mack Bernard. Thank you so much again for being with us today. This has been The Second Layer.